We'll be understanding the concept of inheritance through running program. Like this is the class student which has been inherited by the marks class, how the inheritance is done, how the parameterized constructor of the base class is invoked, how the method of the base class is invoked. We'll understand everything through practically, right? Like I'm running this program. You got the 2 attributes from the base class and you got the 3 attributes from the derived class. How they are combined. We will understand the whole concept step by step. So watch the video up till the end. The question might strike in your mind, what is simple inheritance? See, this is simple inheritance. Assuming that there is a class A which has few attributes and few functions, right? And this is class B. It also have certain attributes and certain functions. Now what will happen that B class is inheriting the A class. First thing, the class which is being inherited is known as superclass or base class. The class which is inheriting it is known as derived class or subclass. Now what will happen? The object of A class can access the attributes and functions of A class only, right? But because B class is inheriting means getting in gift, right? Because the B class is inheriting the class A, not only the object of B class can access the attributes and functions of B class, it can also access the attributes and functions of A class too. Now this is the power of inheritance. That means if you made certain app, obviously it is tested and all, you want to make a bigger app. Now you can inherit this app so that all the classes, all the functions, whatever you made it in this app will automatically be included in this app. Plus you can add more. So the inheritance can be used as a building block for the bigger and larger apps. This is multi-level inheritance. The B class is inheriting A class and this B class is inherited again by C class. So what will happen? The object of B class can access the attributes and functions of A class as well as of itself. And the object of C class can access the attributes and functions of A class as well as attributes and functions of B class also. Now this is multiple inheritance. There are 2 independent classes with certain attributes and function. This C class is inheriting the A class as well as B class. There is no relation between these 2 classes, right? So the object of C class can access the attributes and functions of A class and also the attributes and functions of B class. But B class won't be able to access the attributes and functions of A class because there is no relation between these 2 classes. We'll understand the concept through programs. Now see, this is the class rect which has 2 functions and 2 attributes, length and breadth. This triangle class is inheriting the base class rect. Now this triangle has 2 functions and 2 attributes, base and height. Now what will happen? The object of triangle class can access all the 4 functions and all the 4 attributes. Let's see how. See, this rect obj is the object of rect class. So this rect obj object can only access the attributes and functions of rect class. You are invoking the setRect function of rect class and taking 2 arguments 10 and 20. This 10 will be assigned to this x parameter and 20 will be assigned to y parameter. And obviously we know the self refers to the object itself, that is rect obj. The values assigned to the parameter x and y will be assigned to the length and breadth attributes of rect obj class. Then this print statement will be executed. Area of rectangle is, you are invoking the rect area function through rect obj instance. Control will come over here. The multiplication of length and breadth, that is the multiplication of 10 and 20 will be returned here and displayed. So the answer 200 will be displayed over here. Now here you see the benefit of inheritance. You are making the object trg obj of triangle class. The moment Python will come over here and will see that this triangle class is inheriting the rect class. So it will understand that the object trg obj of triangle class can access these 2 functions and these 2 functions also and these 2 attributes along with. Okay. You are invoking the setRect function of rect class through object of triangle class and there won't be any error because triangle class is inheriting the rect class. So this 5, 2 will be assigned to this x and y parameters. 5 and 2 will be assigned to the length and breadth attributes of trg obj. These length and breadth attributes are assigned to this trg obj also. Next you are invoking the setTrg function using the trg obj. Cursor will come over here. This 7 and 9 will be assigned to this x and y parameters. And from these x and y parameters, the 7 and 9 will be assigned to base and height attributes of trg obj object. After that, this print statement will display area of rectangle is and rect area function will be invoked through trg obj object. Cursor will come over here. It will return the multiplication of length and breadth attribute of which object? trg object. The values of length and breadth attributes of trg obj object was set to 5 and 2. So multiplication of 5 and 2 will be returned over here. Next print statement is area of triangle is, and the trg area function will be invoked, and it will compute half into base into height. Base and height attributes were set to 7 and 9. So the result of expression half into 7 into 9 will be returned and displayed over here. Let us run this program. I have copied it. I am going to spider ID. This is loaded here. Now I am running it. 5. Now because through inheritance you can access all the attributes and functions of rect class through triangle object, that is through trg obj, you can comment out this rect obj because it's not required. You can access, you can calculate area of rectangle through the triangle object also, because triangle class is inheriting the rect class. So I've commented out. You can see the output. Area of rectangle is also computed through the trg obj, and there is no problem in computing the area of triangle also, right? Now we'll understand the concept of simple inheritance by invoking the constructor of the base class. See, in this program there was no constructor, right? But if the base class has a constructor and you want to invoke it through the derived class constructor, how is it possible? This program will explain. Here there is a rect class, it has a parameterized constructor. Again triangle class, it has a parameterized constructor. This is lecture 18. In lecture 16 we understood the concept about the classes and the concept about the default and parameterized constructor. If you haven't seen that lecture, I am providing you the link of the playlist. You can see all the videos. Then it will become very easy for you to understand the concept of this inheritance. See now, we understand the program from this main function. You are making the object of rect class by name rect obj, and you are taking two parameters 10 and 20. So compiler will understand that while creating this object rect obj, two arguments 10 and 20 are passed. So the compiler will search for a parameterized constructor with two parameters. If compiler will not find the parameterized constructor with two parameters, it will get you an error. So this 10 and 20 will be assigned to these two parameters x and y, and from x and y these values 10 and 20 will be assigned to the length and breadth attribute of this rect obj, right? Cursor will come over here, a line will be displayed, area of rectangle is, this rect area function will be invoked and it will return the multiplication of 10 and 20. Now here you are creating a object trg obj of triangle class and you are passing two arguments. Obviously the Python will search for a parameterized constructor, and this 10 and 20 will be assigned to these parameters x and y. Now this is the main line of this program. As I told you that the class which is inheriting is known as the subclass, and the class which is being inherited is known as superclass or base class. So what you're saying, you are invoking the parameterized constructor of superclass. Now this rect class is a superclass of this triangle class, because triangle class is inheriting the rect class, right? And while invoking the parameterized constructor, you are taking these two arguments x and y, which were received from here. So this 10 and 20 were assigned to these x and y parameters, and this 10 and 20 are taken while invoking the parameterized constructor of the superclass, that is the rect class. So this 10 and 20 will be assigned to the length and breadth attribute of trg object. Got it? After that, the cursor will come over here, and the values of x and y will be assigned to the base and height of trg object. So the trg obj will be having four attributes: length and breadth set to value 10 and 20, and base and height set to value 10 and 20. This line, area of rectangle is, will be displayed. You are invoking the rect area function through trg obj object. Cursor will come over here. Multiplication of length and breadth, that is 10 and 20, will be returned here. Again, area of triangle is, this is the text displayed. trg area function is invoked through the trg obj object. Half into 10 into 20. The result of the expression will be written and displayed here. So this is the technique to invoke the constructor of the base class. So the main focus of this program was to understand how to invoke the constructor of the base class, that is the superclass. Now let us run this program. Let's copy it. In the spider ID, I'll just paste it. I'll run it. See, this area of rectangle is 200 is displayed by invoking of rect area object through rect obj object, and this area of rectangle is displayed through invoking of rect area function through trg obj, that is the object of the triangle class, and this is the displaying of triangle of area by invoking the trg area function through the triangle object. Now because triangle class is inheriting the rect class, there is no need of creating an object of rect class. You can always calculate the area of rectangle through the object of triangle class also. So I am commenting out these lines. Now I'm running it again. See, area of rectangle is calculated through the triangle object, and area of triangle is also being computed through the object of the triangle class. Let's move to the next program. Through this program we'll understand how to invoke the function of the base class through the derived class. See here, you have been invoking the base class functions in the main function only. What about invoking these base class functions through this derived class? Is it possible? Yes, this is the program. Now here what I'm doing, I have made a class student which comprises of two attributes, roll number and name, right? It is the function that displays the roll number name. This marks class inherits the student class and it comprises of two attributes, two subjects, physics and maths, right? We will be displaying the roll number name of the base class by invoking the base class method from the derived class itself. Let's see how. You are making an object of marks class. Marks class is inheriting the student class, right? You are making an object of marks class by name student info. By seeing these four arguments, Python compiler will realize that there is a parameterized constructor of marks class, right? So the control will come over here. This is the parameterized constructor. These four arguments 101, bin2 and 2 subject marks 70 and 80 will be assigned to these parameters P, Q, R and S. This we've already understood that the superclass, that is the class which has been inherited, that is the parameterized constructor of the student class will be invoked by this statement, right? And while invoking the parameterized constructor, you are taking these two parameters P and Q, and the values of P and Q is set to 101 as the roll number and bin2 as the name. So the control will come over here and this parameterized constructor will be invoked. The values in the P and Q parameters will be assigned to these X and Y parameters. That is, X will become 101 and Y will become bin2. And from there, the values will be assigned to these attributes roll number and name of student info object. So roll and name attributes of student info object are set to 101 and bin2, and thereafter the cursor will come over here back to the parameterized constructor of the derived class. So what it will do, it will assign the values to the physics and maths, two attributes of the marks class, and these attributes will be set to the values 70 and 80 which were passed while making the object. Okay. After that, the control will jump back to the main function. You are invoking the dismarks function through this student info object. Cursor will come over here, right? Recall that self points to the object itself, that is student info, right? You are invoking the disp student function of student class from the marks class. Can you see it? So this is a way you can call the base class function from the derived class. Okay. So the cursor will jump to the disp student, right? This self will be assigned to the self parameter. Self means the object student info. Roll number will be displayed and the value of the roll attribute was set to 101, that will be displayed, and the name assigned to the name attribute, that is bin2, will be displayed here. After that, the cursor will come over here. Physics marks will be displayed through the physics attribute. Maths marks will be displayed by displaying the maths attribute, and you are also computing the total of them by adding these two. So this program can be used in the practical way also. Like you are inheriting the marks class from the student, you can make a program related to bank where a class consists of the saving account number and the customer name, and there's another class interest which inherits the main class customers and computes the interest on the saving amount whatsoever. Now one thing is there, is this the only way to invoke the function of the base class? No, there's one more. See, you can write super and the function name. We will comment out it first, right? But we'll run it through both the methods. Let's copy this program. See, roll number, name are displayed, physics and maths marks are displayed, and the total is displayed through this disp marks function. Now this roll number and name were displayed by calling the disp student function from the derived class. That is, calling the base class function from the derived class. Now I'll comment it out. I'm invoking through another method, that is by making the use of the super method as we did here. Okay, now I'm running it. See, the output has come. This student function of the base class is invoked by making use of the super method. Now I'm giving you a homework. You have to make a class product where you have to enter three attributes: product code, product name, and the price of it. It can be anything. 101 is the product code, product name might be tea, coffee, whatever, and the price, whatsoever amount you take. Now there's another class bill which will inherit this product class, and it will compute two things. One is your discount, which is 5% of the price, which is in the base class, and the net amount. What is the net amount? Price minus the discount. You got it? So this bill class will compute two things, your discount and the net amount which the customer has to pay. If you are able to do this homework, mention it in the comment box. If you followed this lecture, please subscribe to my channel, share the video with your friends, do write comments. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.